Hello and welcome. What I've got for you today is a unboxing of a Seagate Ready NAS. No, not Ready NAS. Sorry, Ready NAS is a Netgear thing. It's just a NAS 4-bay. The model number STCU. STCU 100. I've got a cheat sheet. I got this thing for $211 with tax. It lists for $300 on Amazon. Got 4 out of 5 stars with 80 people reviewing it, so that's not too bad. I did look at the Netgear Ready NAS, Ready NAS 104. They're both 4-bay NAS units, and they both were going for the same price on Amazon. The Netgear listed for $399, an extra $100, but it didn't get as good a review. 3.3 out of 5 stars with 175 reviewers. So I mean, I've used Seagate gear and I've used Netgear equipment before, and really it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. So I went with the Seagate. It's got a better review, better star rating, and it was also a much smaller unit. I was looking at the dimensions, and the Netgear is about twice as large for the same number of drives, which seems kind of silly for me, particularly with today's standards. I mean, a little 4-drive unit, you can get away with almost just a little Arduino unit or Raspberry Pi for the controller of that. So you don't really need a lot of space for the controlling equipment. So that's what I went with. So here it is. It's diskless. I've got disks all ready to go for it, so I didn't have to buy any more for this thing. Interesting thing about the shipping, it apparently originally shipped out of Gainesville, which is weird. It came from Gainesville, got shipped to Kentucky, then Amazon shipped it back to me in Gainesville. So it did a nice round trip across the southeast of the United States. I almost want to go hunt down the address of the guy that shipped it to Kentucky in the first place. I want to find out what the heck he's doing, because that's interesting to me. Let's see. So, yeah, let's open this thing up. I know I have a knife around here somewhere. Where did I put it? There it is. Aha! Okay. It's got the original, this is bought new in box. It's got the original Seagate tape here that I'm going to cut. I don't have fancy knives, I just have a box cutter. I just can't get on the airplanes with it. And let's see what we got here. Okay. Packaging looks pretty good. As you can see, it's got standard black cushioning here and a box of kit for all the extra stuff. So let's just pull this puppy out. Oh, very light. Doesn't weigh very much, only a couple pounds, if that. I would weigh it, but that's just silly. Get that out of the way. Alright. So we're down to a nice little bag here. That doesn't seem... Oh, there's the opening. Haha. And of course it's upside down. Silly of them to pack it upside down like that. Bag, get out of the way. So there we go. Let's see, 4 drives in the front. There's a USB port. Looks like a power and a reset button or a sync button or something like that. Don't know yet. We'll read about that. On the back, it looks like I've got a pair of network interfaces. Maybe I can do some dual homing. Go 2 gigabit into it. There's also a USB port. This is probably an actual the reset button and a power port. This is probably some sort of sync or backup or something like that. I won't be using that feature. I'm going to be probably putting 4 2-terabyte drives into this thing, set them up with RAID 5, and have a 6-terabyte box. So that's the unit. There we go. What's in the box? Let's find out. Power brick. Okay. Screws for the drives. Oh, let's try pulling out a drive here. Okay, just a little button there. Lever out. Slides in. Standard tray. Pretty simple. I expect if I look inside, would just be a SATA port. Power cord for the brick, Ethernet cable, and instructions. Pretty simple. So that's the unboxing. I will do another part where I have this all set up, attached to have a system up here, maybe do some controls and updates and stuff like that. I don't know. I've never hooked up one of these suckers up. I've always done all of my network services, network storage kind of stuff by using a real machine, having Linux installed, and serving out via NFS or SMB. So this will be something new for me, and hopefully it'll be a nice little piece of equipment. I'm going to guess, just as a guess, it's probably going to be set up with a private IP built onto it. Probably not 192.168.1.1. It'll probably be like 1.100 or 100.1 or something like that. We'll find out. I'll read the book. It'll tell me. Okay, so it is a diskless unit, and I have to install my own disks. I have them. I figured I'd show you just a little bit about what it is. These trays actually have pins on them you're supposed to use, and you actually bend 1/2. Look at that. Bends. Huh. So let's try putting one of these puppies in here. I'm using Western Digital 2 terabyte drives. They're Western Digital Blacks. So I really love these drives. Just takes a little bit there, and then a bit of a bend. There we go. So it's in. Now it's not secure, so we got to put some screws in here. And there's my little screws. Here's how we do it in the big boy leagues. 1, 2, done. You could actually do it from the side as well, but you know what? They gave me enough screws to do it that way. Okay, let's do it. Come on, pick one up. There we go. Wait a minute. What's going on here? I thought I had a spot to do this. One there. Oh, sides. On the sides. Duh. I've already done it on the bottom. On the sides. 1. And 2. There we go. Nice and secure. Feels pretty solid. Let's take a look at this. Here we go. This just pops right in here. Slides right in. Pop. Done. Nothing to it. Pretty easy. So there's how we install the drives. I've got 3 more to do. We won't show that. So I ran into a couple of problems. The way I have this configured at the moment is to have plugged it into a Mac that I've got directly instead of into my actual home network, because my home network is a pain in the ass to get to right now. So my Mac is connected up wirelessly to my home network and also via RJ45 gig Ethernet to the NAS. Unfortunately, in the instructions, it tells you to, open up Safari and go to notapple.com. This is a very, very new install. It basically has all default settings, and it tells you to go to discover.seagate.com, which takes you here, and you say find, and it can't find it. Well, of course not. It's stupid. So I tried installing, it says here to install the Seagate Network Assistant. I tried that. That failed as well because, well, it's stupid. So my next step was, okay, are there any other alternatives? Well, one of them was to actually get a command prompt terminal here. I'll make this bigger. There must be a way. Is there a way? View. Edit. Window. I don't know. Anyways, you open up a command prompt. You type IPARP and you look for, what do you know? The Seagate line. There it is. It found it. It did an autoconfig, obviously. 169.254 is an autoconfig. the odd thing is that this machine is also on an auto-config address, so why not? As you can see, my router address 172.30. I actually use a Class B, pseudo Class B private interface network here at home instead of the standard Class C that everybody else uses, 192.168. So now I've got that. Okay, great. So now I should be able to close this one. And oh look, put in that number, 169.254.114.102, which was the auto-config. It then asks me for the MAC address. Okay, there it is. Connect. See what happens. Follow these steps. Oh goody. Install the NAS OS. Internet access required. Oh. Well, I don't want to do that. I'll make this full screen. I don't have an F11 here. Maybe I do have an F11. That's not F11. Stupid Macs. Alt F11? That didn't work. See, this is why I don't use Macs. They're silly. View. How do I maximize? History. Window. Zoom. I don't want to zoom. I want to. What if I click on this? Hey! Okay. Start. 4 new disks have been detected. Yay! And they will be formatted to install NAS OS, and all data will be removed. I don't care. Next. Formatting the drives, and the blinking lights turned on. I'm seeing the lights, they're white and flashing red, and it's doing stuff. Oh, this could be a little while. Well, I'm going to let it record here, but I will cut out all the silly stuff and maybe fast forward and make it look pretty. I'm not going to actually. Yeah, let it go. Fun, fun, fun. NAS OS. NASOS. Well, so this is actually a new series for me. I'm just going to talk. Yeah, that's what I can do. This is a new series for me, and I'm kind of new to doing this kind of thing, doing webcasts and YouTube videos and stuff. So, please put in the comments anything that you see wrong, right, things you like, things you don't like. I'll listen. I may not heed, but I'll listen at least. I'm sort of going to center on doing hardware reviews, and I've got a huge stock of ridiculous hardware that I could be doing. Just within reach here. Oh! I'll put it up on the screen. Oh, look. Neato cool. What the heck is that? Why has it got a CX4 connector on the back? That is that's an InfiniBand card. An InfiniBand HCA. I have some of these, access to some of these, and I've got a InfiniBand switch that I'm going to get my hands on, and once I've got that, I'll do some videos on configuring and setting that up, playing with it, hooking it into Mac OS maybe, Windows, Linux. InfiniBand is a pretty neat networking system. This particular card is I don't know if it's DDR or SDR. SDR is single data rate. Single data rate goes up to 10 gigabit. DDR is 20 gigabit. So, pretty cool stuff. Pretty kind of neat to have a 10 gigabit network sitting at home working. It's very, very, very low latency, very high bandwidth kind of networking stuff. We're at 90% now, so that's kind of fun. But it takes a bit more knowledge and setup in order to get it to work in the first place. Why would I need it in the first place? Who knows? It'll be fun. So I've got stuff like that, and then I've got some really, really, really old stuff. Ooh, disconnect all external devices. What does that mean? All external devices. This is probably if I had something hooked up to the NAS for actually connecting to files and stuff like that. I don't have anything like that. So confirm. Why not? Okay, it's blinking and doing stuff. And I'm hearing drive access. Oh, and a shutdown. That sounds like a restart. It's actually a relatively quiet system. Not a lot of noise coming out of it. I've got some disk systems in the back there that are just ungodly loud. And this is actually one attempt to quiet that stuff down by moving some of the data off of those onto this, shutting those systems down, getting them out of the way. Sad to see them go, but I don't really need that much computing horsepower at home anymore. I've got access to bigger stuff at work. Much bigger stuff. Restarting. I don't know, isn't this like the beach ball of death or something like that, or something close to that? I don't know. I was given this Mac. It's a, what the heck are you? Mac Pro? Mac Pro? Yeah. Mac Pro, it's the first generation Intel Mac Pro. Big, heavy monstrosity. Only runs up to a certain level of Mac OS. It's cute. I got it to work. I'm happy with it. It does some things. I haven't really played with Mac OS since I think the Mac OS 9 days. So it's kind of different. I'll play with it a little bit more. Primarily, I'm a Linux and Windows user. Mostly Linux because that's what I use at work. And Windows is more for gaming than anything. So yeah, I think the last Apple product that I actually paid money for was in 1983 with an Apple IIe. There's some history for you. I do have an Apple II GS. I'll probably roll that puppy out at some point. I've got some things to play with that on. That was also given to me. I acquire hardware. It just happens. So I've got a small stack of Texas Instruments 99 4As over there that at some point I'll be firing up and playing with. Some other hardware, odd stuff. I have a Timex Sinclair 1000 with a memory, 16K memory upgrade on it. That could be interesting to fire up, see if it even works anymore. I don't know. It's the renowned doorstop, because it's shaped like a giant doorstop. Okay, the NAS, by the way, looks like it's formatting, maybe? Or doing something. I don't know. Drive activity. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's doing stuff. Oh, what's happening? Okay, I have to watch my time on my camera here. It only takes video in 20-minute segments, so if I go over, I'm screwed. It just stops, and then I don't know what happened. When did it stop? I have to figure it out and do stuff. So, we'll see. What else have I got to play with at home here? Lots of other little systems, oddball systems. I really like to dabble in all kinds of different hardware. Experimenting with them. I've got stacks of Sun systems, SGIs. I've got an old DEC Alpha floating around, but I've never been able to get that up and running and a video out of it, video signal. Part of the problem with that is that it outputs a very, very specific signal, and that signal is at a very specific frequency rate. It's not synced. There is no sync signal with it, so you have to have a specific monitor in order for it to work in the first place. I've never tried to hook it up to this monitor, and this is my little beast here, because it's got inputs for just about every signal I've ever been able to find, except 13W3. and I've got converters for 13W3, so no big deal. What else? Oh, I'll probably be doing hardware exploration on audio equipment as well. I've got some interesting audio equipment that I've acquired over the years, and I continue to acquire more. I live in a university town here, University of Florida, and they are constantly having auctions of stuff. And I dabble through that and look through and find interesting things. And if something is cool and different, I'll bid on it. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. And I get some very interesting things. I've got an old digital audio tape recorder unit in the back here somewhere. Got a reel-to-reel deck. I've got a couple of old movie projectors, Super 8. Yeah, it should be interesting. We'll see what happens. So this is sort of my introduction to YouTube, I guess. I do have another video in the tank that I'll probably push out before this, or maybe I'll do it after. I don't know. Doing an unboxing and configuration for an Intel Compute Stick. I'll probably do that, push that out after this one. It'll be a weird order, but what the heck. Since I'm introducing myself with this video, make this one the first one. Meanwhile, the Seagate is continuing to reboot itself. And now it's flashing at me. I'm going to be really annoyed if that's all there was to it. I'm hearing drive activity, but I don't know if that drive activity is from the Seagate or if it's from the Mac. I will listen closer. That's from the Seagate. That's a good sign. I just hope it's not actually formatting, because that's just painful. At least my mouse still works. Okay, so we finally finished here, and we have an interface. It's not a bad interface. It's web-based. It's actually relatively quick. I've seen some that have been really, really horrendous. I didn't get any indication, any method for defining exactly how I wanted to configure the drives. It just sort of did it for me. And I wasn't quite sure how it did it, but when I hover over the disks here, it tells me that I'm using 119.2 megabytes out of 5.9 terabytes, which is 3/4 of the drive space total available. I've got 4 2-terabyte drives in there, which would be 8 terabytes. This is about 6. So what I'm seeing here is that it's probably a RAID 5, but I really don't know. Seagate has obviously done some things to really smooth out the user experience for people who don't really know a lot about what they're doing here. And, they're trying to do some protection here, and creating a RAID 5 is one way to do that. And that's fine. That's actually what I sort of wanted, but I want to know. I want to know. So, it did create some shares for me as well. We'll take a look at those. The one user is an admin user right now. Some groups, I don't even know what they are, but we can take a look at that as well. It still has no internet access because I haven't hooked it up, but who cares? Services, I'll show those as well. And there's you can set a power schedule. I haven't done so, and I probably never will. So let's take a look at the shares here. There's a public share and an admin share. Obviously, there's one user for there and a public. So probably the groups is a public group and an admin group or something like that. We can take a look at one of these. You can change to a private share, do some services, delete, add remote share here, which is SMB kind of stuff. Users, just me, the admin. You can set their password, what they have access to, set quotas if you want. That's kind of nice. S drive account, email address. So it's not bad if you wanted to use this for a small business kind of situation. It might work very well for that as well. Groups, the administrators and the users, okay, and members of one of each. Settings, let's take a look at this. What have we got in here? We've got the device name, which I just left as the default, so it's Seagate D4. D4 is probably number of drives. It's set for Celsius, which I'll just leave, who cares. You can do time synchronization. I'm assuming that's going to be looking for, NTP server kind of stuff. I have one. I'm not going to set it up right now because this unit can't connect to that. You can set workgroup domain kind of stuff for SMB. And then it tells you your firmware and whether or not you've done an update to it. I have not because, again, it hasn't had a chance it can't get to the outside world. I'll probably do that later on and hope it works, I guess. Services, there's a whole bunch of services here. So we've got SMB, we've got NRB. What the heck is that? Network Recycle Bin. Wow, that's silly. AFP, the Apple File Protocol, that's useful, I guess. I probably won't be using it. NFS, I will almost certainly be using because I have a lot of Linux systems that I do stuff with. FTP and SFTP, nah, I'll turn those off, and they are actually off. There's an AFP on right now, probably because I'm connecting up to it via an Apple. That'll probably get turned off. WebDave, I've never seen WebDave actually work. I know it can, but what's the point? S Drive, I guess like Seagate drive or something like that. I'll never use it. Time Machine, I'll never use that. UPnP and DLNA, I pretty much won't be using that. iTunes, I certainly don't use. SSH access, I will definitely enable that one. That'll be fun. Print server, interesting. I guess this unit can be, you can hook up a USB printer into this unit and it'll share it out to the rest of the world. I've got an old USB printer here, USB attached printer. It's an old LaserJet 1012. It would work, but the toner cartridge for it is dead, and it was cheaper actually to buy a whole new printer than to replace the cartridge. And that's, sadly enough, that's actually very common with low-end printers, but even laser printers. iSCSI capability, and it's enabled for some reason. It's good for a single user, single machine, but I'm probably not going to be using it for that. I'll probably be doing NFS and SMB for the most part. Net backup, probably won't be using it. Download machine, I can download files via BitTorrent and HTTP and FTP. I probably won't be using that as well, but it's an interesting thought. Okay, so network, let's take a look here. Probably, it's Z169.254, that's a autoconfig IP address. It is green, it's set up 1 gigabit, it's a direct connect. It's actually a physically direct connect straight into the back of a Mac, so one of the two, or both, who knows, has an auto-negotiate for crossover. I didn't even bother putting a switch in between these two. It wasn't worth the effort. And it worked, so go for it. I think the Apple probably has an auto-negotiate kind of thing going on. LAN 2 is not connected. IPv6 mode is enabled. However, look at all this stuff. Okay. IPv6 mode is enabled. I probably won't be using it. I don't use IPv6 at home at the moment. Link aggregation. Oh, good. We do have link aggregation, so I can actually get 2 gigabit out of this thing for load balancing. That'll be very handy. I can do proxy for the internet. Remote access, I will probably leave disabled. If I want remote access, I'll have to go through a different machine. Port forwarding, I won't be needing any of this. That's silly. So yeah, the link aggregation, I'll probably be using that. Power, you can do some NAS power management, do power saving mode kind of stuff, and also hook up a UPS and have it communicate with the UPS. That's kind of neat. I don't have any of that right now. The last UPS I bought, it's currently dead, and I have pretty good power here in the first place, so I don't worry about it too much. Monitoring. Let's take a look-see. Taking a little bit longer, but that's all right. So it's set up for the drives right now. Looking at them, the temperature is 50, 50, 49, 49 degrees Celsius. They're 2 terabytes. With smart status is okay. As you can see, as I go down, it indicates where they are in the drive chassis. So it knows that kind of stuff. You can do auto test and smart status. That's good. Oh, let's take a look at the smart status for this drive. Should be nice and clean. There's a little bit, look at that. It's an older drive, 1,826 days power on hours. That's impossible. That's like 6 years. That can't be wrong, right? Load cycle count, yeah. But it's still in good condition, so, you know, go with it. Close this. Let's see what else we got. System. Okay, what do we got here? CPU and RAM connection. We've got network utilization here, up and down. That's kind of nice for both LAN devices if you want. Since I only have one, it doesn't really matter. Oh, here we go. Process name, MD8 RAID 5. Well, I guess that confirms it. It's a RAID 5, so I'm not going to bother rebooting or redoing this array. It's not worth it. Python in there, and since it's MD8 Resync and MD8 RAID 5, I would say that NAS OS is probably a Linux-based operating system that Seagate's taken and done some things to. But it's actually very quick. It's a clean little system. Notifications. Oh, look at this. Share admin has been added. We got synchronization stuff going on here. Volumes are syncing. Fans, disks, front LED, system start. Looks good. That all looks like pretty good stuff. We do also have email notification capability. For some reason, the email server is Seagate. I will turn that off because that's just stupid. I'll just leave it doing a syslog. We do have SNMP capability. It's currently off, but that's kind of nice as well. Let's see, what else we got? Storage overview. Okay, we've got the one volume, simple RAID. It's currently still in the synchronization process. No external volumes connected, but you can apparently attach external volumes via iSCSI or at least one other thing that I saw somewhere floating around in there. Then you got volume 1, which is all 4 drives, obviously. You could go in here and manage it. It's still synchronizing at 7.5%. That's going to take a while. You can add. Here's where you can add iSCSI targets and serve them out via this unit. You can manage this thing, so I could actually format or delete the current array and change it into perhaps a RAID 10 or something like that. Make it fast. I don't see any point in that. I bought this thing really to handle 4 drives in a RAID 5 configuration, not to do a fast system. So I'll just leave it alone. So there you go. That is the full overview of what you can do once this thing is up and running. Let's see what's up here. We got search. Oh, nice. Alerts. Here's all the different little alerts. Share a minute. It's the same stuff that we saw earlier. And maybe a help. User manual. Oh, very nice. Video tutorials. Hey, that would be kind of meta. Run the video tutorial on here and record it. But I'm not going to do that. Support cases. That's kind of nice. Community forums. So it's, what have I done? Volume name. No, I'm not going to rename it. That's what I must have clicked on that. There you go. Look at that. Okay, so, what's here? Device manager, app manager. Oh, okay, let's go home. Okay, so that was the device manager. You've got a file browser, you've got a download manager, backup manager, app manager. What are the apps we got here? None. Well, okay, that's kind of boring. File browser, there shouldn't be any because it's brand new. And but there we go. That's actually very nice. So, little browser. It's sort of, kind of nice there. And download manager, let's take a look at that. Jobs and settings, add a download. It's off right now, that's good. And then we've got the backup manager. There's a net backup server, but I'm not going to be doing any of that. So, it's actually a relatively complete little system. It responds pretty quickly. It's relatively compact considering it's got 4 drives in it. The only noise I'm hearing from it is from the drive access itself on the drives. Noisy drives are not the fault of the unit itself. It's just that's how the drives are. Maybe a bit more soundproofing on that would quiet them down a bit, but I can't really fault Seagate for that. Not for a unit that costs $200. Seems like a pretty fully functional system. We'll see how it goes with over time, but so far I'm pretty happy with it. So I think that about ends this little thing, and hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later.